Okay, we're going. We're starting. Watching Batman.
The B-Man.
Batman Returns.
You know, I kind of like this cold open, but the opening to the original
Cold open. Cold open?
Cold. I do much prefer the opening to the original 89 Batman, where that's the one where we're going through the maze, right? And it turns out
Yes,
we like zoom out and it's a Batman
symbol. It's the Bat symbol.
Yeah. Is this guy Pee Wee Herman?
That's Pee Wee Herman, that's Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
He's also done a bunch of other stuff. He's a voice actor as well. The mother is someone too.
Has he done anything else with
Tim Burton?
Yeah, Tim Burton.
Apart from Pee Wee? No.
No.
Unless he has a small role in something I don't know, like if he's a voice in maybe Alice in Wonderland. I'm not sure.
Now Mrs. Cobblepot isn't anyone, right?
She is someone.
She kind of looks like the woman who played that lawyer in the O.J. Simpson show. A little, not there.
Yes.
But
yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sarah Paulson.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that ain't her.
Sarah Paulson would have been like 16 when this came out.
This is a very Tim Burton opening.
This, I was thinking, I didn't watch this before we did this because I can't remember it well enough, but I was thinking this might be the most unleashed, just Tim Burton-ness that he's ever had in a movie. There's movies that have more of like the visual aesthetic that he's done, like Beetlejuice and Corpse Bride and that, but I think this is everything in his brain gone into one film. The only way this could be more Tim Burton is if Christopher Walken was just playing his character from Sleepy Hollow.
I haven't seen Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
That'd be another one to watch.
Okay, so now that we're getting into the opening titles, the talking point that I wanted to bring up, this only occurred to me today. I don't know how I've never even heard someone say this. So in the Tim Burton movies, the Joker is the leader of a mafia syndicate.
Yeah.
And the Penguin is the leader of a circus.
Yeah, they reversed it. That's weird.
Why did they give them... What? These movies weren't planned together. It's just a horrifying coincidence.
What do they call it? He says the Red Triangle Gang at some point, right?
Yes.
Is that a comics thing? Who knows?
I'm going to say no, because I don't think Tim Burton cares or likes Batman comics.
I know this is Danny Elfman's theme, but did he score this one too?
I don't know. I would say yes, because I think that was his whole thing. Tim Burton had Danny Elfman for every movie up until a point.
And the score is very good in this movie, I will say.
Is it your favorite Batman movie score? Because it's not mine anymore.
Anymore. You're not going to beat the original theme, I don't think. I like the 89 theme.
But again, you keep saying original. There was decades of Batman. And the original Batman fans...
When I say original, I mean the first Batman that I was ever exposed to.
I think the first Batman
exposed himself to me.
Louis C.K. never played Batman. What are you talking about? Yeah, music by Danny Elfman. As much as I like a lot of the creativity in this movie, this is not a Batman movie. It's not trying to be a Batman movie. Batman's barely in it, first of all. But also, this isn't Penguin. This isn't Penguin's personality origin. Catwoman doesn't have Catwoman's origin, but like, kind of a personality.
All you need to make Penguin is that he likes to eat fish and he's a sex pest. You know? That is Penguin in a nutshell.
Now that I'm watching Always Sunny, there is virtually no difference between the Penguin and Frank.
It's just him. I do like this opening. You know, it's very cinematic.
I like it now, but as a kid, this bored the hell out of me.
Yeah.
This is...
You know, I think that sort of rings true for me too, is that I was, like, this movie didn't do anything for me when I was a kid.
I was just waiting for Batman to show up, and
Yeah.
he just never does.
The first one is good, you know, for when you're a kid. I like that movie a lot.
I liked it a lot more as a kid, but again, there was not that much Batman in the first one either. It's a lot more than this one, but it's not that much. Also, Danny DeVito is playing a 33-year-old, which I do not believe.
Christmas time in Gotham.
Which they keep going back to. They keep going back to the Christmas Batman movie. Gotham in Snow. That's a well that they've retread. Dark Knight Rises was Gotham in
Dark Knight
Snow.
Rises. Were any of the Clooney or
Well, Mr. Freeze was the villain.
yeah. I swear, was there snow in the Kilmer one as well? Or was that just like a cold-looking movie?
I don't think so. But also they did that animated movie, Sub-Zero, where they brought Mr. Freeze back, and
They sort of took this whole weird, what's that art movement called? With the statues in the background. It's like the Ayn Rand thing. It's Bioshock.
yeah, the Chrysler Building looking
what's
sort of thing.
the fucking
Art Deco.
Art Deco. Yeah, they sort of take this and wind that up to 1,000 in the Schumacher movies.
Yes.
But it does carry over from here. Like this actor, he turns up in the Schumacher movies as well, right?
He turns
Same
up in
Alfred.
a lot of Tim Burton stuff as well. They kept using him.
And the Commissioner Gordon, is also reused in the Schumacher.
Pat Hingle kept coming back.
And
What else has he
I
done?
swear
His face?
there is like a bit part woman who turns up in like she comes back again for the Poison Ivy one.
Is this the reporter?
She shows up. No, it's just some random character background. Just has one line, walks off screen. I'll point her out later.
That was the most Tim Burton way to paint up a building.
Why is Max Shrek's symbol a cat?
You know, Shrek.
He's supposed to be like a department store owner /
Yeah, it's like Macy's.
Yeah.
Or that sort of thing.
Shrek's.
It doesn't work when really. And also, would you, as a child, really want to go to a store with that guy?
This movie, you said was...
I'm just noticing his family portrait.
yeah,
in the background.
Christopher Walken does not look old enough to be that guy's father, by the way.
Also, I hope no one told him to do it, but I love that the actor playing his son is just doing an impression of him. I hope that was just a thing that he just started doing on take one. Dad! And they're like, okay, that's his character now. That guy, the closest to Shrek.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of these sort of movies.
He's like a weird character actor that shows up in like 80s and 90s
Always
movies.
plays a corrupt businessman.
Sexist.
He's got one cigar in his front pocket. Oh, there he is.
Dad!
Dad! What's his name again? Chip?
Yeah.
Chip Shrek? It's
He
the
looks-
worst name.
He looks like a fucking Chad. He's the Chad meme. Corn dog.
To this day, I've never seen the Halle Berry one.
Yeah, I think... No, I didn't watch it. But I have seen a review of it. It is not a good movie. Shrek coming through. This was 3 years after Batman 89, right?
Yeah,
So
92.
this is
Yeah.
pre-Shrek? When
Yeah,
did Shrek come out? That was
Shrek was
2003?
2002.
Yeah. Now is Shrek, Maxwell Shrek, I'm not talking about Green Shrek, is he a comic character or is he...
No. So the backstory for this movie is originally Shrek was going to be Maxwell Cobblepot,
Oh.
and Penguin was his long-lost brother.
Ah. Okay. You know, that does feel like a Tim Burton plot.
And I don't know what the thinking was, just making him an original character. But I think the movie would be a bit better if it did have that connection between the two bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh, he lost his speech.
Oh no.
Bane stole it. He's going to deliver it.
Look at the pictures on the wall. It's like him and Arnie.
Him and Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah, him and Elvis.
Him and Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's weird. He doesn't come into the fourth movie. Okay, Dad, I'll tell you to abuse your secretary.
I noticed throughout the movie when I rewatched it, because I rewatched this movie in preparation for this, that
Wow,
his hair
what
changes
genius
size like 3 different sizes throughout the movie. So there must have been like reshoots.
It's mood hair. It reflects how he's feeling. It was definitely a lot neater in the first scene in the office.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different versions of this wig. His hair has a mind of its own. But you will.
So
See, this is very Joker.
This would be the perfect entrance for the Joker. I mean, they're probably, even if they didn't kill off the Joker in the first one, they probably weren't going to bring him back anyway, because that's not how superhero movies worked back then. You didn't bring the same villain back, you just did a different one every time.
Yeah.
This would have been
I can't figure out where this Mayor character is from, right? Like he's like a side character in a Home Alone movie or something like that, or he's like he's like in Last Action Hero or something.
He's played like a main character's dad who's too busy to...
Or like a police chief.
Yeah, something like that. Also, one of these guys is Abe from Hellboy.
Oh, this guy. The guy in the hat.
He's been in stuff.
Yeah. What do I know him from specifically? He's got like a... He's like an assassin who tries to kill someone.
Yes! Oh my god!
What movie is that?
And he ends up... Oh, shit. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it. And we're going to get to Batman eventually in this Batman movie.
This is the stupidest fucking thing.
It's pretty cool, though.
Oh, come on.
Bruce
Wayne has, like, bat-themed...
Yeah, you know why? So this shot can exist.
It's like, gee, I wonder who Batman is. Maybe it's
Nobody
the guy
goes to
with
his
the
house.
Batman symbol over his house.
Nobody knows where he lives. He's a recluse. Nobody sees Bruce Wayne.
Oh, come on. Who is this? Where's that fucking scene from where he's like an assassin? Shrek!
He's going to
go, save yourself!
He's going to kill someone, and the someone shows up at his place. I've got the scene in my brain, I just can't picture the other actor.
Yeah. God, it's gonna annoy me.
You know what? You keep the commentary going.
Oh God, what do I say? Yeah, fuck you, teddy bear. Why is he doing that? Like, what is Penguin? Yeah, he's trying to get Max, right? Kidnap him. Batman.
This is the commentary. Batman.
Ooh.
Okay, the actor's name is Michael Murphy.
Yeah.
I
love the faces Michael Keaton makes under the mask in this scene.
Yeah,
it's just frown and weird, like, smiley frown.
There was clearly a lot of just sort of not a whole lot of direction.
Oh, and that fucking that scene comes up a bit later where he like punches the strong man in the face and he pulls back for a second and he does that fucking face.
That's been memed a million times.
Mm-hmm. This is good. The fire breather versus the Batmobile engine. And he just killed that guy. That guy's not coming back from that. Yeah, these are very Joker villains. And they gave him to Penguin.
Okay, I'm back. I've looked up where the actor is from, and almost certainly what you recognize him from. He's Angel's dad in X-Men 3.
Really?
Yes.
No, that's not the movie. He's an assassin.
No, not that guy, the man.
Oh, the mayor.
The
Oh,
mayor
yeah,
is
yeah,
Angel's
yeah,
dad.
yeah. But wait, I thought you were looking up the other guy. Come on, let's derail the thing, and you gotta look it up, the other one again. I'll carry the commentary. I can do that.
Will you?
Wow.
I'm gonna have to talk louder because I'm not recording myself anymore.
Wow, that was... Wow. Wow. I need therapy. Now, does this taser look like a cat head on purpose?
I don't think. I think it just looks like a taser. That's what tasers look like. They're bulky things.
But it also looks a bit like a cat head.
You're just seeing cats everywhere at this point.
Was this Commissioner Gordon in '89?
Yes, because the movie starts and ends with him.
Ah, yes, the alley that leads to the head. The head of Gotham.
It's the alley that leads into the sewers. As alleys often do.
Sewers often have trapdoors that lead to nowhere.
Okay, I'm back from derailing the commentary for a second time.
Good.
I know where we know him from.
Where?
He's a Bond villain. He's an assassin in one of the Pierce Brosnan movies.
That is totally where he's from. He's like really bad assassin from that movie.
He's also in Ghost. He's got a very small bit role in Ghost, the Patrick Swayze movie, which I mainly know.
I never noticed that those ducks were like fucking ski lift things. Shrek with a slightly different wig.
Does that mean that he was unconscious until right now? Because he like lifted his head up like he was coming to.
I'm the trash man.
I'm the man, Penguin. Let's try to not make any sunny jokes for the rest of this. I know it's very hard. Oh, second guy from the left in the clown. That's Hellboy's brother.
The big man?
No.
No.
Second one from the left. Thin man. That.
Oh.
The one in the middle.
Oh.
That's that Shape of Water merman dude.
Mm.
See, one of these people could have been Harley Quinn, and you would have had a fine sequel to the first movie.
Might explain the whole clown gimmick a little bit more.
Yes, but as far as I know, there was no plan for this to be a Joker return. These movies were all produced by, what's his name again? John Peters, who, if you remember that famous Kevin Smith lecture he did, the Q&A, he was talking about his time working on the Superman movie.
Ah, yeah.
And this guy, John Peters, was like, what if Superman doesn't fly in
This
one?
guy was the giant spider guy.
Yes, the giant spider one. What if he fights a giant spider? I mean, we don't call it a giant
The Xanagarian snare beast.
So when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, what was Burton's idea? And what was John Peters' terrible producer note? Because what I reckon happened is Tim Burton wanted to go full Tim Burton for the first one, but they were like, you've only made a couple of movies, we don't know about giving you all the reins yet. So he made a very safe Batman movie, did really well, and they give him this one, like, do whatever. You clearly know what you're doing. And they shit-canned him.
Who is this poodle lady? Is she anyone?
Actress-wise?
Yeah.
I'm not going to look up every actor that we see, but...
Come on.
Because I literally cannot record myself and look things up on the internet at the same time. Danny DeVito found the weirdest niche in Hollywood. You're just going to play a gross, not even barely literate man.
The wig has yet again changed. It is different from the start of this scene again.
Yeah, the last one was very white, and this one's kind of like a silver. You could have done a whole Joker family here with Harley Quinn and like the other sort of Joker girls that he has working for him.
Sludge.
See, I can't even compare him to Colin Farrell.
No.
Because this is not the Penguin. This is some 1930s Hammer horror villain that Tim Burton came up with, decided to call the Penguin and stick in his movie.
Is this Cody's wearing, like, covered in crab motifs? Or is it like... I don't know. This is a commentary.
I think it's just supposed to be marine life. I don't know if the thing is supposed to be that he made us. Or...
Do you know if these like actual penguins in the background are like little people in suits,
no,
or whether they're puppets?
Some of them are real. Obviously, like the ones that are swimming are real penguins.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they're way too thin for a person to get in there, so I would say they're mostly remote control.
Mm.
Anytime it has to like interact with a person, it's a fake.
I like that little beat there where he looks at the...
And I like that he, true to Christopher Walken, he has no facial reaction at all to his severed hand. Why is she limping?
She's tired.
That cat almost ate it.
You know, I like this scene, and I like what it sets up later. Like, in a bit.
Because they do the same scene, but it goes the other way.
I really like that, actually. It's a really good moment.
Everything to do with Catwoman is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Even though...
Like, the weird Nine Life thing, sure, but, you know.
I've never understood that. Is it supposed to be up to interpretation?
I mean, she definitely killed herself with the last one.
Yeah, but not any of the others. All the other ones you could chalk up to, well, she just got lucky and survived something that would probably kill her.
I mean, like, right at the end, she survived 5 gunshots and electrocuting herself. So, it's gotta be real, right?
But then why aren't they all clearly lethal things that happen to her?
Oh, by the way, spoilers. We're talking about the end of the movie.
I mean, why would you listen to people talk about a movie in depth if you haven't watched the movie? It's not a review. We're commentating over it, so obviously. Oh my god, look at that phone. It doesn't have any buttons. This movie's so old.
Gotham Yellow Pages. Some intern put that there.
It doesn't even have... and the other one just says phone company on it. It doesn't even have a logo. Her kitchen just has like this huge metal beam across it.
Painted pink.
One thing I did always find in this movie that I didn't really like so much. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a camera thing, maybe it's a lighting thing, but the first one has this very kind of retro washed out look. Like it looks grainier. Like they filmed it on a camera from the 70s. Whereas this one looks much more pristine. This looks like a 90s movie.
Yeah. This movie feels very small, I think because of the sets.
Everything's indoors.
Yeah.
And when people are outdoors, they're small sets. We never get one of those, you know, Joker's big parade through the street.
Yeah, there's like, there's a scene where...
There's a chihuahua.
Yeah, I know.
Stuffed. Tim, I brought my dog. He's dead, but maybe we put him in the scene, maybe?
There's a scene later where they're like doing the mayoral speech or something like that. And in the background, there's like a matte painting that's supposed to look like the background of Gotham. But it's never worked. Even back when like I first watched it, it felt like a wall.
I don't remember.
I'll point it out when we get there. Along with that woman that I'm pretty sure is in the Schumacher movies.
Why would you frame the chihuahua right next to his head? Put it somewhere else.
I don't know if you missed this, Joel, but the chihuahua's name is the password to the computer.
But why would...
I don't remember the name. It's like Gazpacho or something. Gazpacho?
It's something. But at this point, we don't know that it's important to the plot. It just looks like, why are you filming that? It's going full Walken.
Again, I don't think he's old enough to be Chip's dad.
How old has he ever been? It's like he was born old?
How long after Pulp Fiction was this?
This was before Pulp Fiction.
Right.
Pulp Fiction was 2 years after this.
Right.
Hey, you know who produced Pulp Fiction? Danny DeVito.
Oh.
Which no one talks about. I don't know how many people even know that he did that. See, this makes me think that it's all open to interpretation, because theoretically she could have died or survived that fall, because the awnings broke her fall. And then the next time she falls off a building, she lands in a kitty litter.
It is like right up until the end.
Yeah, it's not until the last scene where Christopher Walken starts shooting her, and then she electrocutes herself, that you can definitely say, oh, she came back to life. Because some people interpret this as the cats are bringing her back to life. I think they're just waking her up. And she woke up after a traumatic injury, surrounded by cats, and she lost her mind. She's not coming back from the dead. And I will say, after seeing the Matt Reeves one, Michelle Pfeiffer is still my favourite Catwoman.
Yeah.
But most of that is just because I'm more attracted to her.
Well, I think she's the best actor in this movie. Quite honestly. I think what she does with the character is quite good.
Do you mean like gives the best performance? Or
yeah.
you think Michelle Pfeiffer is a better actor than anyone else?
Well, I mean... Probably? Like both?
Really?
Yes?
Better
maybe?
than Michael Keaton?
Yeah. I haven't seen much with Michael Keaton in it. I've seen
It's a controversial.
Spider-Man, I've seen Batman, I've seen Birdman.
Birdman's pretty damn good, though.
Yeah.
Wait, have you not seen Beetlejuice?
Once. I need to rewatch. That's like another one. I need to rewatch a lot of movies that I was supposed to watch as a kid.
You're supposed to watch them.
Supposed. Like, Labyrinth is another one that falls into that category.
I finally got around to watching Labyrinth. It has a very good theme song. There's a very good codpiece in David Bowie's pants. Yeah, so this is going into the thing that I've never been a huge fan of, where she actually acts like a cat. She purrs, she drinks milk a lot, she walks around on all fours. They did it in the Adam West show, and Michelle Pfeiffer does it a bit. The Halle Berry one went straight into it, where she's literally a mutant of a person and a cat. She's inhabited by the spirit of an ancient Egyptian cat goddess. I just like it if it's more of an aesthetic. Yeah, so this is definitely a Tim Burton thing. This was not... Well, Tim, for the sequel, we want a scene where a woman tragically loses her mind and trashes her apartment. It's a good thing she had all this spray paint around, I suppose. Oh, did you notice the coat hanger? There's a little logo on the coat hanger. Did you see what it was?
No.
A penguin wearing a top hat. That shot always fools me for a second. For a second, I think her entire bedroom is being sprayed black. I'm just picturing, what was this latex outfit for? Who gave it to her? It doesn't seem like something she'd wear. She's into some S&M stuff on the side. That's something that in the comics keeps popping up a lot. They'll do, like, Catwoman is a hooker or a dominatrix who turned to a life of crime. And that explains why she's got the whip and the latex outfit and everything, or leather outfit. I think
they kind of stick away from like the cat burglar stuff in this one.
They do it once.
Yeah.
And then they quickly stop.
Hello, here.
Have you heard the Sean Young story about this movie?
No.
Do you know who Sean Young is? She was Rachel in Blade Runner.
Ah, yeah.
She was very much gunning for this role as Catwoman. She wanted to be Catwoman.
Right.
And she bought a Catwoman suit and then stalked Tim Burton and jumped out of the bushes and saying, "Let me play Catwoman, look at me." She did not get the part. I just want to say thanks. Hold on. I might be completely wrong, but just his face. Is that Mac's dad from Always Sunny?
I don't know.
That looks like Luther. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'll put it up on the screen of this video. So how do they set up the duck elevator in the sewer? What's it plugged into?
Who cares?
Just looks like he's floating out of the sewer. He's Baron Harkoning his way out of the hole. Oh, hi, Batman. I'm not used to seeing you.
Oh, it's been half an hour and we saw you like 15 minutes ago for 2 minutes.
And we ain't going to see him again. When does he show up in the suit? Is it like...
It's like
car?
the initial attack in the car. That's the first time you see him as Batman.
But like, when his car gets taken over, is that the next one? Or is it the Catwoman rooftop fight?
I don't remember.
It's a while. You watched it yesterday and you can't remember how much Batman is in this movie.
I remember, like, the first hour, he's in it for, like, 10 minutes total. And then it sort of loses focus on Max Schreck and jumps into Batman for the rest of it.
Because somebody on the writing team had a horrible realization. Oh no, Batman's not in this movie. We need to fix this. Wait, you saw The Other Guys, didn't you? The Will Ferrell movie?
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
He played the chief.
Yeah.
The more I was thinking about this movie, since I had the idea for us to watch it, I keep seeing a lot of like similarities between it and Dark Knight Rises. So we got almost no Batman.
Yeah.
For a good chunk of the second act. We have the Catwoman thing. We have the snow in Gotham. It being pretty much the only movie in its respective series that showed snow in Gotham, at least to a large degree. And both movies were like very tonally off from the other ones and caused a bit of a disappointing fan reaction. Because the first Burton Batman movie, that was like every little kid's favorite movie at the time. And this movie there's a lot of people who I've heard, YouTube reviewers and that, who were young enough when it came out that they saw it at they 10 or 9 years old. And they remember just being very traumatized by it.
Traumatized.
Because it has all the sort of the visual aesthetics of a movie that would be for kids, but it's so much darker than anything else they would have seen at the time.
It's it's just, compared to Batman 89, it doesn't work for kids as much. Because it certainly didn't work for me.
The third act of the movie is the Penguin, a character who most kids at that point pictured as Burgess Meredith in the Adam West Show, chomping on the really long cigarette. And he's saying that he wants to murder every firstborn baby in Gotham. And then when someone mentions that they might be a bit extreme, he shoots them.
I do think I remember being, like, scared of Penguin.
I apparently was, but I don't remember. My dad said that it was on TV once, and I cried the second he showed up on screen.
This is when Batman shows up again. Right.
Does he do anything? Does he just
He
drive
looks
by?
at Penguin. That's about it.
Why did this need to be a scene?
It's such a weird scene.
So no one is on the street of this incredibly highly populated city, even though it's close to Christmas. Batman is driving slowly down the street in his Batmobile past probably the most famous man in the city right now, and not a single person sees him.
Why is the records room up against a window?
So you can drive by it and look at it. Also, what you were saying about the whole movie feeling small, like this is the big graveyard in Gotham, and it's just this tiny little set at the back of a building.
Mm.
Like this needed to be like
all this.
I
I don't think there's ever
cemetery.
There's never like an actual outside shot in this movie. It's all sets, all of it. And I mean that kind of works for Tim Burton's thing, but it makes it feel small.
Yeah, in a big epic action movie that takes place in a huge city, this feels very claustrophobic. Which is weird, because so did the Matt Reeves one, but it worked. That movie feels very closed off and oppressive, but I liked it. Because even when people are outside, it's always in a big crowd, or there's a lot of rain, and you can't go anywhere.
They, I'm pretty sure, like, in The Batman, they use some of that Disney projection wall technology to do some of the outside shots. Like, specifically when they're on the bat signal place.
Yeah.
Who's this guy with the shaved head? Is he like a famous singer or something? He looks like the guy from Tool.
I didn't notice.
They call back to this later as well. They do the reversal. Whereas I'm not Oswald anymore. I am a penguin. I am an animal.
I think that's supposed to be an Elephant Man reference. When he goes, I am not an animal, I'm a human being, I'm a dog. Whereas he does the exact opposite. I am not Oswald Cobblepot.
This guy on the right with the shaved head.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a guy from Tool.
I don't know, man. How old is Tool? Were they around in the early 90s?
His name is Tool.
You know, like the lead singer of Korn. Korn. Who took that photo?
That chick right here. I think she's at the benefit.
That's the reporter from Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's I think Bob Kane's wife.
Oh, so that's why she turns up.
Which is funny, because nowadays most people know that Bob Kane actually did very little when it comes to creating Batman. Bill Finger was the one who kind of fixed everything and said, no, he's going to be like dressed in black and actually look like a bat. And kids movie. Poked in the eyes with... This is when a lot of people developed fetishes. This shot right here.
She's like 110% into this role, and I'm here for it.
Again, I don't like the fact that he can just walk around. Like, Bruce Wayne, oh my god, what are you doing out in the middle of the day? No one sees you.
Speaking of Beetlejuice, Shrek's suit kind of makes me feel like Beetlejuice.
It does.
I kind of like this scene as well, where they're sort of swinging their billionaire cocks around.
It looks overlit. I don't think this should have had a big open window in the scene. I think this should have been a bit more sort of atmospheric. I don't think this movie is anywhere near as atmospheric as the first one. The first one also had a lot of smoke in it. Everything was very smoky outside.
Yeah.
There were like sewer grates with steam coming out of them, and there were smokestacks.
the whole opening scene to Batman 89 is like super iconic and burned into my head, where like you see like there's two criminal guys and then Batman's in the background of the scene. He comes out with all the light and you just see a shadow through the...
The first time you see Batman in the first one, he's actually animated. He's just this little drawing that I think Tim Burton might have done himself. I think he did the animation where he's just walking across the rooftop because he's all in silhouette, so he's just drawn. And I understand that you can't have him have the same impact as he did in the first one because we saw him in the first one. So he won't have as cool of an entrance. But he has like no entrance in this movie. He has that first shot when the light comes through the window. But then when Batman shows up, he just sort of walks into the scene.
Keaton gets the line here that I really like.
Does he close his mouth at some point in this scene?
No, he's taken by her, Joel. Auga! I mistook me for somebody else. Yeah, it's a good line.
There's a good line, one of the few good lines in Batman vs Superman, when Bruce Wayne is following Wonder Woman around the party, and someone catches him, so he has to pretend to be drunk. He goes, "Oh, sorry, that last martini was too many." Also, I get that Michael Keaton, his Bruce Wayne, is not the dark, tortured guy. He's just sort of a bit of a loner.
You know...
But he has, no mystique to him in this.
Yeah. I don't think he even has an arc in this movie. Right?
Most superhero movies don't.
Yeah.
It's only been
I feel like there's a character thing in the first one, right? Oh, I don't remember the first one all that much, but he's just like Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne at the start as he is at the end.
Yeah.
Same with Batman thing. Like he kills that woman later. Like
He
she dies
kill her
and it
on
doesn't.
purpose.
I know,
She
but she
falls.
dies and it doesn't affect him at all.
Nah, why would it? He's Batman. Ben Affleck shot people with a machine gun.
See, I think that's another reason why I really like Catwoman in this movie is because she gets all of the character development. All of it. Like, she changes, she gets, that whole split personality thing, and then she's, tearing apart herself at the end, trying to reconcile whether she's one half or the other.
Would have been nice if he could have done a Two-Face movie with Billy Dee Williams.
Wow, that would have made sense.
Penguin acts like the Joker, Joker acts like the Penguin, Catwoman acts like Two-Face, and Two-Face isn't in the fucking movie. Oswald, I've set you up a place to live. It's a shithole.
It's a weird double focus shot.
Yes, so we can see both of them at the same time. There's some weird out of focus stuff in the new one as well.
Well, it's like that I watched a video on. It's down to the kind of
lens they use. They use 70s lenses. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if you watch the same video. It's called Dirty It Up or something like that. Yeah.
Dirty Up Frame. I watched that.
Yeah, it's just because Matt Reeves and the cinematographer guy just really wanted to capture the 70s aesthetic.
That cinematographer guy, he's gonna win, but he's gonna win for Dune. They're gonna give him the one and say it's for Dune, even though everyone knows it should be for Batman.
I like this scene coming up too.
So at this point, he's not a human anymore. He's a mutant. He's a penguin man.
This is what happens when Pee Wee Herman has a kid.
I always imagine, what the hell does he look like under there? Like his torso's too long.
I like when he like slurps the fish up.
He doesn't stop eating it. He has no shame.
Wigs changed yet again.
The guy that Penguin attacks in this scene, who bites his nose, he's another one of those actors who's just in stuff.
Same kind of thing where he's like an extra in Home Alone or Last Action Hero or something like that.
I can't get over... This movie is too bright. Mm-hmm. Not that it shouldn't have scenes in the day. You can make a Batman movie with daytime scenes and it works. I think like the entire third act of Dark Knight Rises took place in the day. I think it was fine. But it's just... There's no atmosphere to how this looks.
You know, I didn't think Penguin ever had penguin hands outside of this.
Maybe in some of the cartoons, maybe.
Like, he always had, like, a penguin nose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you ugly to your face.
This is another one of those kids' movies.
Very scary for like a kid movie, you know? His fucking proportions. And that's like sort of the costume, but that's just kind of how Danny DeVito's built as well, outside of the fat suit.
I mean, he wasn't this fat back in the 90s, but he kind of is now.
Yes. He is perfect. This I don't remember. Like, this was sort of a surprise to me.
Just how disgusting he is.
Yeah. And when he pins the badge on the girl. Let me just get this right on there.
That is an Always Sunny joke. The high school reunion, when they're putting the name tags on the woman. Oh, I just wanted to feel your breast. Yeah, this would have all meant a bit more if they were brothers. Because, like, why are these two working together? Are they friends now after their abduction? Just leave that fish anyway. Does he take it at the end of the scene or does he just sort of walk off? There he's walking away. You just leave that fish next to the water.
Poontang. I like this scene too. It's a good, like, cold cutaway.
So did the dog pull the pen? Or?
And Batman shows up again here. It's been a while.
Giant watch for some reason. Yeah, let's just slap him on the head and push him around a little bit.
Man. Noticing the neck kind of...
The can't move his head thing. It would have been fine if they didn't just show it in a big wide shot.
And you know, later, something that always irked me was when he tore the mask off. just feels like a waste of a good mask, you know?
He's got a million of them. He wears a different one every day.
Oh yeah, right. That'll come up later when he goes into the dress and like.
Oh, he picks out his wardrobe.
He's like, nope. Yeah, this one in the middle, the exact identical one to all the rest.
Yellow and black, yellow and black. Ooh, black and yellow.
The dronerang.
Which is the only way that a batarang would work in real life.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't work. It wasn't that low to the ground. The dog wouldn't be able to reach it. That man's dead. No, not Abe Sapien. This is her one cat burglar moment in the whole movie. Because the way she's introduced, she saves that woman from the rapist guy. So it looks like she's going to be a vigilante. And then she does this.
Well, that's her save the cat moment, you know? Because she's kind of a good person, sort of.
Where'd that whip come from? Where'd you get the whip? You had a whip?
She just got it.
Did you see a whip anyway? And she can use the whip.
She did this for real. I don't know if it's the shot they used, but she, like, I think it was first time and she got all 4 of them. For real. Like Michelle Pfeiffer, the actor.
Can't imagine how physically unpleasant wearing that would be. Or doing that.
I don't think she's being a cat burglar here. She's just fucking up Max's store. Right? Because this is a Shrek department store or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Did Burton write this as well?
No, I don't think he's ever written a movie.
Batman walking casually is just funny.
Oh, Wilhelm scream there.
Here it is.
There's the meme. This is another instance of Batman straight up murdering a man.
Batman just walking is weird.
It's almost always weird.
Unless he's walking out of the shadows. Like the Batman when he first shows up.
Oh, I think there is a way to have Batman just walk around casually. It takes a very particular kind of tone to do it. The Nolan movies couldn't do it. They couldn't show Batman just walking around the room. He almost never did. He did it in Dark Knight Rises and it looked weird. Because Christopher Nolan was obsessed with making Batman appear like a mythical animal in those movies. So he never did anything that a human would do. We never see him sit down in a chair. We never see him walk to one place to the other. He's just, oh, he's there now, and now he's gone. He doesn't operate by the laws of physics.
Do you know whether Tim Burton is like his own concept artist or whether he gets someone else to help him out?
I mean, for a big movie, he'd probably get someone else to do it, but he probably does his own, like, in his spare time.
Because he definitely has like his own
he
design for things, right? It's like Corpse Bride is to Nightmare to Christmas is to the background elements of these things. Oh, wait. Best moment. Yeah. I don't know. That's really cool. I like that moment. And they actually blew something up, right? There's not a miniature. Didn't look like a miniature. Does Penguin have trick umbrellas, or is it just the gun umbrella in the comics?
In the comics, I think he's got a million different kinds of umbrellas. I think...
Before they probably turned him into more of a mobster type thing.
I mean, he was a mobster.
I think in the comics, he's sort of like the mirror of Bruce Wayne, sort of, a little bit. Because they're both like the Cobblepot families and the Wayne families. And
which they go into in the video games a lot.
Yeah.
How he kind of resents Bruce Wayne. But then there's also Black Mask, who's also kind of like Bruce Wayne. Which is why I think a movie with Black Mask and Penguin in it together would be kind of cool. There's also Lex Luthor, who's kind of like Bruce Wayne. There's a lot of Batman rip-offs. He didn't have any way to fight it off. I know, I've been kicked lightly. There's no defense. Also, I feel like this is a weird movie universe for a TV Ariel to exist in. I feel like things should be more 50s.
I don't know who the writer was for this, but they...
Not the guy who did the first one, I don't think. Sam
They
Hamm
really...
wrote the first.
They're good at writing Catwoman's lines. It's all, like, sort of weird and cliched and comic booky, but, you know, it works for this movie. Like, a lot.
I do like this just as a subverting expectations moment.
Ouch.
Anne Hathaway had a couple of moments in Dark Knight Rises where she put on that weird voice.
Alright. Catwoman was in Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, Catwoman is in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And I think she's okay.
Hmm.
There are no cats, though, weirdly.
I like Michelle Pfeiffer's voice, like, when she, like, is talking as Catwoman.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway does it a couple of times, and it's really weird. She only does it 1 or 2 lines. I remember there's a line right towards the end.
I like this scene because, like, this isn't Batman. This is Bruce Wayne in a costume.
Which the Nolan movies never did. They never have a scene like that. And it's really weird, because why wouldn't he just talk in the Bruce voice sometimes? He always does the Batman voice when he's got the cowl on. It's really strange. Even around Alfred. Why? Why would you do that? We're going to film this entire scene in the corner of a room.
I'm just going to state what's happening in the plot.
I'm going to say what we've been seeing up until now.
Here it is. What a weird thing to have in your kids' movie.
This is why the third one went in a slightly different direction. Almost. It almost goes in a completely different direction, apart from Nicole Kidman, who is the horniest character. She's way hornier than Penguin.
Listen, I will say that I like Val Kilmer's Batman movie a little bit, right? I don't think it's terrible.
Four-legged duck. It's another one of those split focus shots. Just so we can have this shot. So, did she bring the cat, or did the cat just follow?
She is a cat,
Okay.
Joel. She is a cat.
Is this the bit where he tries to lick her shoe?
He did. He just...
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
What other movie does that? Oh, it's one of the Austin Powers movies. Fat Bastard tries to lick, I think, Beyonce's shoe when she stands on him.
Why is his spit black?
Because sewer mutation. He is
He was a mutant
human.
before he was in the sewer.
He's not a human. The movie is treating him like he's another species.
Why do they have the blueprints, the bat prints?
I'm going to chalk it up to when he was in the Hall of Records.
Why would that be in the Hall of Records? Records. At a record high.
That bird is so nervous. Michelle Pfeiffer did a video like a year or two ago where she like pulled out the whip. She'd obviously kept it as a prop, and she was like proving that she could still do it. Just in like her backyard. Kids movie. Our hero's gonna eat an animal.
Maybe it's just the era, but there is a lot of weirdly like sexual and dark things happening in this movie that should not be watched by like kids.
I saw it when I was like 7. I was fine.
He's just a weird shaped man.
Yeah.
With weird shaped hands.
But how, if it's on his chest, there's no light coming from his chest, so how's it making a shadow? And then she starts licking herself. First of all, she's rubbing the latex glove on her latex mask, so she's not cleaning herself. And also, why is she cleaning herself like a cat? She's not actually a cat. But like, Tim Burton doesn't care. He's not making a Batman movie. He's making a Hammer horror film. This is Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. That's all he's doing.
Wayne Manor never feels like... Again, it's a small set problem here.
Well, in the
Everything feels
first
like...
one,
Yeah.
they make a lot of jokes about how big the house is.
Yeah. Everything just feels so small.
Which is weird, because same production team, bigger budget. Why does it feel smaller? Like this, why isn't there an establishing shot of the street?
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's the same set, because all that background building stuff looks like...
Yeah, we always come back to the Gotham Plaza set. Always. Like, the finale takes place here as well.
Maybe they were on a deadline. You have to film this movie by 2 months from now, so only build 5 sets.
Yeah. I mean, they're good sets, but...
Yeah, they're all done by Bo Welch, who does a lot of Tim Burton stuff. He did Beetlejuice, he did Men in Black.
Batman blows me.
Me, ouch. It's a catastrophe. See, that's not something Bruce Wayne should say. He shouldn't be defending Batman. He should have absolutely nothing to say on the subject. Michael Keaton never really got the playboy persona down, but he did, in the first one, he did have the, this is a weird guy who never talks to people. But that's not him in this. Also, you know what I would have loved to see in this movie? At the end of the first one, he starts cooperating with the police. He gives Commissioner Gordon the bat signal to use. He never has a scene with a cop. He never talks to Commissioner Gordon.
I think he has like one word for Commissioner Gordon right at the start, but it's literally one word. He gets like one line in that entire like 2-minute opening scene.
I don't think we see them talk to each other until Batman and Robin. Did he kill her? She's not injured next time we see her.
Mhm.
Show the whole room, please.
Mhm.
Stop showing one corner of it.
They don't have another corner, Joel, because they only built one corner of the set. The other four corners are Gotham Central.
Each wall is a different location, and they just, alright, move over here. This is the shop window set, and then over here's the couch in front of the fireplace. Apples.
Yeah, there's just like not a lot going on with Bruce Wayne's character in this movie.
He has nothing to say or do, really. This is not a Batman movie. And like the first one did feel like the Joker show or the Jack Nicholson show a lot of the time, but it was a Batman movie. It had Batman moments, like the scene where Batman takes Vicky Vale into the Batcave. It's pure Batman, distilled down and into one scene with no dialogue. There's no scene that feels like that in this movie.
Michelle Pfeiffer just carries the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say the filmmaking carries much of it. I think, as sort of ambitious as this movie is, I think Tim Burton is kind of filming it in a kind of a lazy way. There's no like cool lighting or cinematography. It's just film his face. This scene is lit well.
I like how they mentioned Ted Bundy in a Batman movie just then.
Hey kids, remember Ted Bundy? Don't worry, the new Batman movie is going to reference the Zodiac Killer.
They literally just like put Batman in the same universe as Ted Bundy just then.
Why didn't they do anything? Why didn't they stop him? I do like this scene. Just they keep finding each other's injuries so they can't do anything.
Yeah. I do like how they interact. And later at the masquerade ball where they're the only ones not wearing masks.
Yeah.
Haha. When they figure out who each other are, it's a very good scene. Because
despite being Batman for quite a few years at this point, he's very bad at the slip-ups. He constantly, like, I mistook me for someone else.
That's a good fucking line there.
But it makes no sense. Like, he did not let on at all in the first one. He was a rock. You couldn't get any information out of him.
This evidence is purely circumstantial.
It's fucking Batshit. You might as well have Batman was here written on. So this is the scene with the elevator chute that just drops him right down. There was one bit I liked.
Which one are we talking about?
To get into the Batcave, he gets into like a sarcophagus thing. And
the Iron Maiden.
Yeah, that's what it was. See, a kid would just be bored senseless by this scene. This Woody Allen style awkward dialogue.
You can really only appreciate this movie as an adult, and yet,
it's still not doing that many things that you can really connect with. Apart from Michael Gove just being a good Alfred. I want to know where that lyric was. It's like, I don't know if you remember, but there's a bit in Batman Begins where he has to get out of a party.
Yeah.
And he says to Alfred, tell him that joke you know. I'll have this one. How does he get it off the mannequin? As far as I can tell, it's one piece. You have to stretch the neck hole or something. Also, why doesn't it come with a bat symbol on the
Yeah.
chest? What, he has to take it separately and just attach it?
Well, it's probably how the suit is actually stored, you know?
Who are you posing for? No one else in the room. Just get on with it. I love so much in the Matt Reeves one. He's just like sitting down or leaning against his desk. There's no posing at all when no one's looking at him. He's just like, oh, I'm so tired.
See that video where they some guy went back and added in black rings around all the Batman's eyes?
Yes, I saw the Michael Keaton one. I will cure the mutations that are affecting our children, starting with my son.
This guy should have definitely been Harvey Dent. That guy.
Bring back Billy D. Williams. You had him in a movie already. Who are these people? Were they in the other scenes? Those two were. That looks terrible. It looked fine in the first movie. So what's the matte painting you were talking about? Is it?
We sort of went past it a little bit. I meant to bring it up. Damn.
Restart the commentary. It's a good thing that door was unlocked.
Monkey.
The group of clowns sabotaging Batman's car, which would have been a nice little Joker scene, but it's not in this movie. This looks like the end of Highlander. This doesn't look like a Batman movie.
Yeah, it's weird, but it works. But high fiber. This scene is like doesn't have any score, and it's weird, but it kind of works.
I'm surprised more people don't do that. Grab him by the ears. It's like she's taming a lion. Dragging it away.
Yeah, and the score picks up here. Like that entire scene was like silent.
I remember it being very awkward. It's hard to tell because we're watching this very quietly. Also, why does the bomb look like that? It would work well if it was a Joker bomb, because I believe the Joker would make a bomb like that. But this is Penguin. Why does he have a circus theme aesthetic? It doesn't make any sense. Just gonna continue to stand here, even though I could very easily go.
Was it just Adam West before Batman 89, or was there like other? Like, was there some sort of animated show that was popular?
Not until after.
Not until after this.
Yeah. The animated show came out, I think, around this. The main one, the Batman cartoon that everyone likes.
So this was kind of the first establishment of Batman as a darker character. Like, he's not
it had
too
been
dark.
done in the mid-80s when Frank Miller got his hand.
Oh, right. Because that happened.
Dark Knight Returns, and I think Year One was the same time.
Oh, boy. This was like the poster, right?
Yeah, or
one of them.
Production still, that was very popular. It's crazy that makeup around his eyes is just supposed to be part of the costume, and I'm not supposed to think about it. It's a good thing they happened to say there's random non sequitur dialogue, so we'll come back later.
Oof.
I don't want to see Batman's nose like jiggle on his mask.
This is something that they sort of keep going with in The Batman, that her outfit is sort of homemade.
Mm.
You know? Like, I'm pretty sure in The Batman, which I'm going to keep on pronouncing that way, The Batman.
The Batman. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure her outfit in The Batman is just like a motorcycle outfit and like a balaclava.
Yeah, and like it's clearly been like hand cut.
Yeah.
She did the balaclava herself to make it fit properly.
Mm.
But it's a bit too loose and it makes the little ears on the top of her head.
What was her backstory in The Dark Knight Rises?
Oh no, she's dressed like a Native American. That's not PC.
What's Catwoman's backstory in The Dark Knight Rises?
She is just a poor woman who steals from rich people. And she has some sort of young teenage girl who lives with her, who is maybe her adopted sister, maybe her adopted daughter, maybe her lover, I don't know. It's just a random young woman living in an apartment. It's never explained. And she's played by a famous actress. It's Juno Temple. I don't know why. Maybe a deleted scene, maybe? Because she's not playing... Because in the comics, Catwoman has a sister. Like an adopted sister. They're both orphans. They grew up together. But it's not her. Holly, I think is her name? But she's not playing a character named Holly. I thought she would have been. I thought she was going to be an important character. Dark Knight Rises, it's not the most well-written movie ever. As opposed to The Dark Knight, which might be the most well-written movie ever made. How does it work? How does this... Why can't she break out of this? Wouldn't it be very easy to just sort of move her head? What's it? Is it wrapped around her, or is it just sort of hooked on her? How is it hooked on her? I don't... This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand anything that I'm saying right now.
I also kind of like how her outfit gets increasingly more disheveled and destroyed over the movie. It's like a symbol of her like character development, man. She's getting more and more disheveled as she goes on, more and more tattered in the mind and also physically.
Oh my god, it reflects what's going on in her shattered mind. Just a bit with the remote control car.
Yeah.
Oh
See,
my god.
This is a kid's movie thing.
The Batter Ride, 50 cents.
And yet he's a sex pest.
The part Danny DeVito was born to play. Mutated sex pest. Why do they do this? Because now this can be used as incriminating evidence. If Batman is able to like at least keep the
Batmobile
that
comes
intact.
up, right? When he records it on his little CD.
Yeah, but why
his
wouldn't
double-sided CD?
You would think to do.
The CD dates this movie, by the way, by a fair bit.
CDs are still a thing.
And then maybe I should wait to bring this up, but when he fucking scratches the CD like a record.
Because that's how CDs work. You put them back with your finger to rewind.
Just like he does that read error. Just he gets an error on the screen.
The steering wheel is shaped like the bat signal.
Cool. Like how the Batmobile has a CD player. He's just driving around listening to the latest Wham release. Wham!
Millions of dollars of damage.
It's weird how that's the incriminating line that turns Gotham against him. He just plays that over and over. Like, no specifics about an evil plan, just like him disrespecting Gotham.
Okay.
I like how, coming up here, how Penguin bounces in the seat. And they play it again here.
Oh my god.
Punch.
This is one thing that I reckon people are going to get very annoyed by with like sequels to the Matt Reeves one. Because I can't see, with the tone they've established, I can't see them doing the Batmobile can transform into different things. And it's got all these gadgets built into it. There's probably never going to do that, and people are going to get more annoyed.
Incidentally, Dark Knight kind of took the whole tumbler turns into a motorbike thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you can get those banners anyway? Is that a poster you can hang up? I hope so. Maybe get some shorter microphones.
No. Yeah, a good movie would have made, I don't know, you make Harvey Dent the mayor, bring back Billy D. Williams, and then like you play up the relationship between him and Batman. Like, they're friends.
Yeah. That's something they've never done. They've never had Bruce and Harvey be friends.
Mm. It's a pretty good place to hide a switch. Who's going to reach the hand in there?
Should have put piranhas in the tank. That would have been cooler. Just instead of regular fish.
Who's Bruce got presents for?
I don't know. He's going to donate them or something. I would have had the spikes disappear before getting in, personally.
Yeah. How did the spikes disappear out the front? Like, that shell is not thick enough to do that.
Batman.
They bring back this frequency thing at the end, but it's never really explained.
So you're annoyed that they don't explain that. The fact that penguins are walking around with rocket launchers strapped to them, that didn't like bump for you at all.
They never show like the background of scenes. It's all like lower shots. Looking.
Even this, like maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember in the first one, there were like big matte paintings of the huge drops next to the Batcave. Because I remember when Vicky Vale looks around, we got a lot of scenes of high cave ceilings with bats in them, and
like, I think that's the problem. You never like get a feel for the whole room that you're in or the whole area.
It reminds me of, have you seen Hook? Robin Williams? That whole movie is made to look like a play. Even the Neverland stuff, everything's just matte paintings and small sets, but it's made kind of stylistically to be that way. this is just sort of making up for it, which, well, it makes the whole... And the CD drive, the CD player, has a little bat signal on it. I have always liked the idea that Alfred always just sort of helps out with all of his espionage stuff.
Who's the best Alfred?
It depends what you want from an Alfred.
What do you want from an Alfred?
Humor, mainly. So I would probably say Michael Caine, but he's not...
He's the warmest Alfred, I feel.
I don't think we've ever had an Alfred that I would consider a really good character.
Mm.
I want Alfred to be like that sort of perfect mix of this guy is a tough, badass guy, and also he's got a sort of sassy, sardonic sense of humor to him. Caine is probably the closest live action we've ever had, but I would prefer the cartoon.
Have you got a good cast for a potential Alfred?
He's way too tall, but John Cleese would be good.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't have a 6'5" Alfred. It's weird.
How old is he now? He's pretty old now.
Yeah, he's like 80 or something.
Yeah.
He's fine. Good fall, Daddy. Quick, get in the duck. No time to explain. The penguins are just waiting. Oh yeah. Oh good. Our master is coming back. It's like all the ones in the foreground, or at least the tallest one is fake.
You know, I don't think he ever had like penguin underlings in the comics. I think he had like robotic, like bomb penguins.
Yeah.
But never had like actual penguins.
See, all the small ones are real, but all those giant ones that I don't know why they made them so big. Like
they're the ones that come back as the pallbearers later.
Yeah. You have an AC?
I'm pretty sure that's what that giant machine is.
Oh.
With the fans. Because he likes it cold. Because he's a penguin.
He is a literal penguin. He was raised in the sewers by penguins, therefore he is physiologically changed into one.
They never like properly explain what that machine is in the background, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the AC.
Did they build it?
Well, it's a zoo, right? It's the thing that keeps the penguin enclosure cold. In the logic of the world. Like, because this is how Tim Burton thinks a zoo works.
But this isn't the penguin enclosure. This is the sewer beneath the zoo. So why is the air conditioner working for this place?
This is where the penguins hang out.
This
is where the zoo people kept them, in the sewer.
I've got the air conditioner unit sticking out of the wall right behind us outside the house. If I stand next to it, the air conditioner does not blow air onto me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this isn't the sewer. I think it just empties out into the sewer because later on we're like cutting outside to the zoo and then cutting inside to that place. Although I could get some pussy.
Pussy?
Mm-hmm. They had that line earlier, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Another similarity, there is a masked ball scene in The Dark Knight Rises where Batman and Catwoman dance. And Batman is not wearing a mask. They're very similar movies. That's a good costume.
Yawn.
Is that a meme? Please tell me that's a GIF or something that I
Think
can
so.
yawn. It's good. This music has always sort of felt weird to me. I don't think it's score. I think it's like one of those, we want this to be on the soundtrack sort of thing.
This felt weird yesterday when I was doing my rewatch too. Something about the music in the scene, including the Super Freak cover.
What? I don't remember that. There's a Super Freak cover in this movie? Who sings it? So Michael Keaton?
Hey, Flash helmet. Old Jay Garrick Flash helmet in the background. We missed it.
You know who else probably missed it? Tim Burton. He probably had no idea what it was. Kids movie. Made for small children. Hope you're enjoying this. 6-year-olds.
Yeah, there it is again. The Flash helmet.
I keep missing it.
Right there.
Okay, now I'm seeing it.
You got it now.
No, that's not supposed to be Flash. That's supposed to be Hermes.
Well, that's Flash. That's Flash's.
But he's got like a beak on the front of his mask.
Yeah. Hermes doesn't have a beak.
You're reaching, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're reaching as far as the fucking Batman grapple gun.
I'm Jack reaching.
What? What does that have anything to do with Batman? She does crazy very well.
You know, it's weird watching this with like next to no volume. Just watching the facial expressions.
Like that facial reaction. I know, like, we have really no idea what Batman Forever by Tim Burton was going to be, what the plot was or anything, but I would have been very interested to see what Michael Keaton would have done. Because this is a different Batman than the first movie. So was the third one going to be more like this, or was he going to do something else?
I don't know.
Was he just not directed very well in this movie? Because that makes sense to me. Maybe Tim Burton didn't care enough about Batman to direct Michael Keaton?
Here it is again, the kiss under the mistletoe bit. This is a pretty good reveal. You know, setup, payoff.
It's contrived. Why did they say it in the first scene? Because they saw mistletoe? It's an amazing coincidence there happened to be more mistletoe.
I don't know. Michelle Pfeiffer pulls it off though. Because, I don't know, she gets like all the extreme emotion bits.
Batman
and so
gets
she, like,
no emotion.
Like she ends up feeling like the only person who's alive in the movie. Like, Batman and Bruce Wayne sort of feel a little flat. And Penguin works because he's like an extreme personality too, but everyone else just kind of feels flat except for Catwoman.
The guy with the Big Ben hat. Dad, I was so scared. That feels like a Joker line. That fucking crowd.
Sound.
They used a lot of the stock cat noises too for earlier bits. The penguin's sitting.
See, that's classic Penguin.
Is it?
Yeah, the remote control explosive penguins.
But they're not wind up little toys. They're actual animals sitting in...
Yes, but they are puppets. Like, outside of the movie's world. So it kind of works.
I really want to see a movie where Penguin is driving around in his Rolls Royce and his passenger is a penguin. With a little seatbelt on.
I never buy the father-son relationship between those two. It just doesn't work.
I do, because they have the exact same voice.
Like,
so weird.
either Max needs to be older or his son needs to be way younger.
That's why they gave him the grey hair, I think, to age him up. Nobody's going down after them. No, we'll just let them.
That's very Tim Burton Cage.
Yeah. I do not like the lighting in this movie. It's too bright. There should be more harsher shadows. It should be harder to see. Things should be more silhouetted. I keep thinking of the scene in the first movie where Joker and Batman meet for the first time in like the industrial area on the catwalk. It's like everything is hard to see.
When was Nightmare Before Christmas? Is that before or after this?
After. That was
After.
98? 99?
Right at the end. Catwoman calls Shrek Sandy Claus.
Oh, okay. So that's just something that Tim Burton has in his brain.
Yeah.
You know he did not actually direct Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
He also barely directed Corpse Bride. He did almost nothing on that movie.
What did he do on Nightmare Before Christmas if he didn't direct?
He came up with the plot.
Okay. Yeah. And he didn't write it either?
Nope. He wrote like a short... He wrote a parody of the night before Christmas, like a poem, but Halloween themed, and he just sort of sat on it. He wrote it just for fun, and he just to turn this into something. And he was working for Disney at the time, so he just suggested we make this into a film. You can actually listen to it if you get the DVD. It's narrated by Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Why does Batman have his own card stock?
This is the General Patton scene where he talks to the penguins. Oh my god. Was that there the whole time? The grandstand? Maybe you should have rigged up the rockets after you had them all gathered together in one room. I'm gonna murder all the babies in the city. And I'm gonna make a reference to babies' erogenous zones. Not just babies' genitals in terms of them having orgasms. So for this scene, they actually got some penguins and strapped those things to them.
Yeah, that made me feel weird.
I hope they're not heavy.
Like, this is 90s Hollywood, though, so they were just, you know...
Grab them by their fucking faces. You gotta wear this!
At least it wasn't 70s Hollywood.
70s Hollywood, they all would have died. We're gonna chuck this penguin off a fucking building and see what happens. Get some good footage.
There was a bat wing in the first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It does that famous shot where it flies in front of the moon.
In front of the moon, yeah. That was the first, like, teaser poster?
It was like the vinyl.
It's the cover of the OST.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were 2 Batman OSTs. There's that one, the soundtrack, and then there's the Prince album.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this movie's missing, Prince.
It's also missing Seal.
Yeah, Seal was a third one.
It's a whole weird thing where, like, that song kind of outshines the whole movie.
I don't remember the actual song in the movie.
I think
Was it just in the credits?
I think it's just the credits, or it like happens during a scene with him and Nicole Kidman.
God, Nicole Kidman's bad in that film.
Does she play Vicky Vale again?
No, she's playing Dr. Meridian Chase, a psychiatrist.
Yes.
Who just straight up takes her clothes off whenever Batman walks up to her.
Yeah, so is Batman Forever supposed to be a continuation of this one?
How the hell could it be?
I know. But you got Alfred, you got the Commissioner, they're back.
Two-Face has a completely different personality.
Yeah.
Penguin just looks straight into the lens. Maybe don't use that take. We did 28 takes, and that was the best one. Why does she say everything so monotonous? They seem to be turning around.
Oh, she just feels like a Tim Burton actor. This is why I want to know who she is, because I feel like she's probably in other stuff with him.
Maybe she is, but like this is her first one.
Yeah.
Like he kept bringing her back afterwards. Would have been a very good role for a Harley Quinn type in a Joker return. Tim Burton doesn't understand Batman characters, he just wants to make a horror movie. Also, I like the shot when he has his little sonar picked up to penguin frequency, so he can see where they are.
She's the duck going up the stairs.
I do appreciate, though, that even though I don't like the Penguin being this weird sewer mutant who operates a freak show, they did at least go in a completely different direction than the show, the Adam West show.
This is the second time they kind of do this, which is like everyone leaving Penguin behind. Like first it's the people of Gotham at the mayor thing, and now it's here.
Well, because that's, I think, Tim Burton's whole point. It's like, he would have been a completely fine person if people just stuck around him.
Yeah.
But everyone abandoned him, including his parents, so he turned into a monster. That's a thing in a lot of Tim Burton stuff. People being rejected by their own parents and then turning into weirdos. Makes me wonder, how's Tim Burton's relationship with his mum and dad?
They didn't fix the neck thing until Dark Knight, did they?
Yep, they never got around to figuring out a way to have him turn his head until 2008. That's crazy.
The Justice League one, that one felt like, because the Batman and Dark Knight have the actual headpiece being separate from the neck. But I feel like the Ben Affleck one, they managed to make it feel like a solid piece and still give him...
Yeah.
What is he threatening to do here with the button?
He's just saying that he's in control of the Penguins now, not Penguin.
What even is that button, though?
It's the
How did
detonator.
Batman get it?
It launches them or something?
How did he get it, though?
He's Batman. And the bats come out. You know, the part of the Batmobile with all the bats in it. That's why it's called the Batmobile. It's powered by bats. Well, that was a composite shot. You could tell because it was out of focus. Zoo. Which one? Just Zoo. Good job, Christopher. You outsmarted the monkey. Not sure why it exploded again when it hit the ground. It wasn't made of anything explosive.
Was this not set up as toxic sludge?
He said that there was toxic sludge in the back of the sewer. But the water is not all toxic sludge.
I swear, like, in that scene, like, he pointed down underneath the gate and it was like toxic sludge.
Yeah, also the water shouldn't be that clear and it should be a lot deeper. The fact that you can just sort of stand in it and it's perfectly clean is weird.
That's a very corny line.
Yep.
Why am I doing this?
Shot. That's a Batman sounding line. Shut up, you're going to jail. Did you notice too that the scene where this is the scene, the bit where he rips his mask off, it cuts away and then it cuts back to him when he doesn't have the makeup on anymore, so he can do it in one shot? They recently came out with concept art for what Ben Affleck's new suit was going to look like if Matt Reeves made his movie.
Huh.
We're going to go in a very Arkham Knight direction with it.
Ooh. I'll have to look that up. But for you, dear viewer, it will be on the screen.
If I can be bothered. Maybe not. Aha! It was Batman all along.
Waste of a good mask.
Val Kilmer.
Like, you feel like maybe they'd be able to, like, do it so he could take, like, the whole headpiece off? But it's just really awkward.
It takes 15 people to dress Michael Keaton in the morning and it takes him an hour and a half. I love how he says that. Selena Kyle. People really got to start aiming for the face. Even in the Matt Reeves one, it was always annoying that they're aiming machine guns just at his gut. Just a bit higher, and you would have solved your own problem. At least in Batman vs Superman, they show someone shooting him point blank in the head, and it just bounces off. It's like, okay, the cowl is bulletproof too, so he just needs to protect his mouth. Yeah, this is when we start getting into Tim Burton supernatural territory. Where maybe she's just walking off the pain because she's gone insane, but she should have at least collapsed by this point. Oh, she kept it.
Santa Claus, see?
Yeah, but in Nightmare Before Christmas, it's Sandy Claus because they think that he's a monster. It always creeped me out the dead body that they use.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I didn't remember that from like when I originally watched it, so it was weird seeing it.
It sticks in your brain when you
Yeah.
see it.
This is a cool shot.
I'm still alive. A little bit. Got green blood for some reason. See, the way this is shot and with the music, Tim Burton is clearly sympathizing with Penguin here.
I mean, you can't sympathize with Batman. He hasn't had any character development yet.
At this point, 6-year-olds have just fled the thing. No kid has stuck around.
Like, what has happened with Batman so far? Like, he
met a woman.
He fell in love with Catwoman, or lust, or whatever. And then has wanted Catwoman. And now he just kind of doesn't even mourn her all that much and kind of moves on.
He mourns her. He rescues a stray cat in her memory. I was so looking forward, because when I saw these movies, I watched them in order as a kid, but I didn't know. I knew there was a different actor playing Batman in almost each one, but I didn't know that it was basically a reboot. So I thought, oh, awesome, Catwoman's going to come back in the third one. Can't wait, because of the little tease at the end. I was so annoyed when they're not even a reference to there being a Catwoman. And this is little people in costumes.
They're not even dragging him along.
Nah, they're just he's sliding.
He slides.
Doesn't make any sense. This movie is not trying to be a Batman movie.
This movie would have been better as a cartoon. Or like a stop motion thing.
Yeah.
Like, if this was in the style of like Frankenweenie or like...
Frankenweenie is a good movie.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good movie. I did not expect that movie to be as good as it was. Well, at any rate. Well, what are we going to do about all those penguins down in the sewer? Oh, that'll be fine. Did that store say super drugs?
Yeah. He doesn't get an arc over this movie at all. He's just sort of there.
Most superhero movies didn't until, like... I mean, the first one does just because they're usually origin stories, but then after that, like... Does Superman have an arc in the Superman movies? That's kind of the point.
Well, I feel like
he's a fully realized hero.
In the first one is tied up with like Lois and him, right?
What was the arc? He's told at the start, don't interfere with human history. He ends up interfering with human history, but it works for him, so he doesn't learn a lesson. And then in Superman 2, he tries to be in a relationship with her. It doesn't work, so they just go back to how things were at the start, like in Superman 1. Superman 3, he turns evil for a bit, but then goes back. He doesn't learn anything from the experience.
And now we look up in the sky, see the bat signal, and...
We got a minute or two before that happens. He gets in the car first. Is this supposed to be her cat? Like, is this the black cat she's always had? Miss Kitty, I think its name was?
With the sexual escapades.
Now that I have a cat, it is very weird to wake up in the middle of the night and just see that little silhouette just sticking up at you, and in in the complete blackness at 3 a.m. It's like having a little Batman sitting on the bed. Was his character arc that he became less sexist because he added women to the end of that? Goodwill to all men and women?
He's not the main character of this movie. Catwoman is.
But is she? Because she's not in the second half that much.
Well, she gets all of the development in the first 2 acts. And she gets the final say against the villain at the end. She's kind of the main character of this movie.
We'll keep watching through the credits. Now, I said I haven't watched the Halle Berry one, but I do know from watching bits that it is in continuity with this.
It is?
There's a reference to Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
What is it?
I don't remember the scene very well, but I think there's a montage of like the history of the Catwoman curse, basically. Because the whole thing is, if you are special and pure of heart, on your deathbed, the cat which embodies the ancient Egyptian goddess spirit will breathe life into you while you're laying on your last breath, and you'll come back with cat-like abilities. And there's a little montage of this happening throughout the years, and I think there's a Gotham Gazette paper with Cat Burglar Strikes Again. And that's the little reference, and it's clearly the Michelle Pfeiffer one. Doesn't make any sense, but that's not this movie's fault.
Huh. So, do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, we've talked about our rankings for the Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that I've put this any higher or lower, but the thing I always keep coming back to is, what does the Batman movie better? This or Dark Knight Rises? Because Dark Knight Rises is not a Batman movie. It's a movie about Gotham City falling to pieces. And the main characters are Bane and Commissioner Gordon. Because Batman's not in it. And Batman's not in this either. And the main character's not him either.
I don't know. Which, between this and Rises, do you prefer Rises? As like, would you prefer to watch Rises? Would you prefer to watch this? If you had the choice between the two.
I suppose this annoys me a bit less. I loved Rises when it came out. If you remember, after we saw it, I was constantly talking about it at school.
You do this a lot with movies. You will see it the first time, enjoy it, and then slowly come to hate it.
Yeah. Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It's the same way. I hate it now. I don't hate it, but I dislike it now. I used to really like it. But yeah, Dark Knight Rises does a lot of stuff with, like, I don't like that Bane ends up being a lackey at the end of it, and I don't like that it's very detached from Dark Knight, even though it's supposed to be a direct sequel to Dark Knight. Like, this one's not even trying to be a Batman movie, whereas Dark Knight is. And also, I don't like how Christopher Nolan deals with Batman. Like, we can never show him act like a normal human being when he's in that suit. When he's in that suit, he's another entity. Whereas Tim Burton doesn't really care. He's like, yeah, Michael Keaton will just sort of sit.
Okay, so what was your, of just the Batman movies, the live action ones, what was your order? You have, like, the Batman up the top currently. It's definitely my favorite Batman movie.
Yeah. I don't know if it's my favorite superhero movie yet. I have to watch it again.
Below that is The Dark Knight.
No, I've always liked Batman Begins more.
Batman Begins, yeah.
Then Dark Knight.
Then Batman 89? No?
Are we counting Snyder Cut? Because I kind of like it.
Snyder Cut, yeah. It's weird though, right? Because you had to have seen Justice League, the Joss Whedon one, for it to be good.
Yeah, because that's what everyone is like. I saw the Snyder Cut. I've never seen the other one. I don't get the hype.
It is only good in retrospect.
Yes.
And it is very good in retrospect.
It's maybe the greatest director's cut.
Yeah.
Although they say that also about Kingdom of Heaven, which I bought. I've yet to watch. Is this the song? Is this the song they were playing in the masked ball scene that we couldn't really hear very well, but it sounded out of place?
I don't remember.
It probably is.
Two angels falling to die like this.
Oh, there's the super
Lost
freak.
kiss.
Susie and the Banshees. That's why it sounds weird. It's like weird emo pop.
All right. This is the end of the credits, so I think this is the end of the commentary.
But quickly rank them. I can't really toss up between Forever and Batman and Robin for last place. Batman and Robin is worse, but I get like angry at the Val Kilmer one.
I think I prefer the Val Kilmer ones to the Clooney ones, but that's probably just
I
me.
prefer the movie, but Val Kilmer's performance, it's not his fault. It's the director's fault. But
Well, that's it then. Pretty much. Did we miss a Batman movie in there? Like the Clooney ones are at the bottom.
yeah, so the Schumacher ones are at the bottom, then BVS.
Below trash tier.
It has some good Batman stuff in it though.
Mm.
Then maybe Dark Knight, then this. Oh, Dark Knight Rises, sorry, then this. But again, those are kind of doing that for me. Then I'd probably go with 89, then The Dark Knight, then Batman Begins, then the Robert Pattinson one.
Yeah, and I would agree with most of that, except I think I would put Batman 89 above Rises, and I would put Batman Begins below Dark Knight, because I think Dark Knight, again, it's another place where like Michelle Pfeiffer carries Batman Returns, so Heath Ledger carries Dark Knight.
Yeah, again, that's a problem that keeps happening. Like, Dark Knight's not a Batman movie either.
And this is like we were talking before when we were having lunch about villains being more likable than anyone else in your movie. And it is because
that's a given for superhero movies almost all the time.
Yeah, and it's because they are the most proactive person in the movie. They're the one doing the most things and making the most progress towards those things.
The Matt Reeves one is actually better than The Dark Knight, because Batman is a very proactive guy in it.
Yeah, and
just as much as
he's
the
actually
Riddler.
doing things.
People only like the Nolan one more because Heath Ledger's in it. Get over yourself.
Okay, that's it. We're done.
Yep. Okay.
The end.
The end. Bye.